Hello, this is the 10 Eyes Podcast, a weekly show that talks about our love and our hate for all things media. Hosted by me, Jack.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Andrew.
Yeah, I think so too.
And that is about it.
And
It's
now
not
I
really
have
a good
machine
husband.
gun, ho ho ho.
Oh, you said the thing. You
Yeah.
said the thing.
That's a good reference.
Hello, this is the new episode of the 10 Eyes Podcast. What a freaking way to start this episode, guys.
Restart the intro, bro.
No,
we're going.
I'm going
We are
to
going.
actually just ask the question because it is now December, guys, and we have done about what is it now? About 8 episodes of 10 Eyes together. Doing things together, you realize your daily routine. You realize the daily things you need, the daily things you have to get through, and working in a team. The thing you always have to ask yourself is, what did you have for breakfast?
Oh, I never see it coming. I never see that question
I
coming.
always see it coming.
Really?
I'm
Okay.
better. I'm wiser.
Well, what did you have, wise man?
Do you want to know what I had? 2 bowls of Frosties
Oh.
Ooh.
and a piece from my advent calendar.
Oh, what advent calendar did you get?
It's a Kit Kat one.
Oh, very nice.
One of my housemates got it for me just out of nowhere.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I had a breakfast wrap that contains hash browns, sausage, bacon, ketchup. It was delicious. I forgot to have my advent calendar. Thank
You
for
didn't have
reminding-
your advent
I didn't.
calendar.
I did yesterday. I had one of the old.
That is disgusting.
I know.
You're not even in the festive spirit.
I know. I'm gonna have it when I get home. So that leads us to you, Jack.
So, fellas, I had breakfast. I had food.
I'm not shocked.
I'm
That's
shocked.
He told me before this recording.
What?
I got
Okay,
spoiled.
You got spoiled. What did you have?
But
please?
I had the usual fries and nuggets, and I also have a Monster, and I have had my photosynthesis, so I am supercharged right now.
Okay, how many nuggets? Last time you had 3.
I had 4.
Oh, he's good.
He's
Up
getting
in the place.
protein.
Protein.
I'm hitting my protein.
He truly is hitting his protein. That is crazy.
And I had at least 21 fries this time.
21. Like the
You
funny,
know,
like the
it's-
funny vine.
The funny one, the funny, yeah. But here we are. It is now December, boys. Christmas.
This year has gone by.
Can you
fast.
believe it, guys? Christmas. Only a couple of weeks away. How can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
Yeah, no, me neither. I feel like it still is November, strangely enough.
Yeah. Speaking, do you guys have a Thanksgiving movie that you guys watch?
I don't celebrate Thanksgiving at
Neither.
all.
No, okay, not
Neither
like
do I.
Thanksgiving in general, but like a movie kind of surrounding that time.
Well, like a November sort of movie.
Yeah, like a kind of what you
Nah.
associate with Thanksgiving.
Breakfast Club.
Okay, yeah.
Nah, it's not really Thanksgiving though. I
It
was
doesn't
thinking
matter.
like
No,
I've
it
got
doesn't.
October,
It just gives me the-
like
It gives me the November spirit.
Yeah, the November
Yeah.
vibes.
yeah, no, nothing for November. I've got something for October though, and it's really random. Pokemon Go.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, like you play
It's
it?
like every year, it's like I get into Pokemon Go around October. I play it for like a couple of months, typically until about like December, January, maybe February. And then I probably just stop playing until sometimes the summer, sometimes until the next October.
Oh no, I fully get that you have a routine with it.
Yeah, no,
I
it's because
that.
they've got... The thing that always draws me in is they have typically around Halloween, Lavender Town?
Yeah.
They've got a remix of Lavender Town theme and it goes so hard.
Oh, that's really
It goes
cool.
hard for no reason.
That is cool.
I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I always watch Freebird. Do you guys know what Freebird is? Do you know what
Yes.
Freebird is? Both of you are nodding in the studio.
I know at least a bit.
Okay. Do you want me to explain it to you, Andrew?
I think
Please
for the viewers.
do,
I
yes,
think for the viewers,
please.
maybe.
Okay, Freebird stars Owen Wilson and Woody Harrelson.
Wow.
Exactly. Where one is this turkey was supposed to be the pardoned turkey.
Oh yeah, it's this one.
And then the other one is this turkey that has been told by the great turkey to save Thanksgiving.
We have to go back in
Time.
time to
So-
the first Thanksgiving to get turkey off the menu.
Exactly. What they do is they go back in time with a time machine called Steve. They go back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu. It is stupid. It is fun. It is wild. I love how bad it is. That makes it so good. The dialogue is subpar. The animation is actually all right for 2010s. It's just stupid fun, and I always do that kind of around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I need a bit of laughter as I go into the Christmas cheer. And then my favorite bit is that it's one of the time traveling movies that insists upon itself. So Reggie goes back in time to talk to Woody Harrelson's character as a kid to make sure he goes to Reggie to ensure that it all happens. It's a loop.
Pretty good.
Chef's
I want
kiss.
to know, out of interest,
Mm-hmm.
do they get turkeys off the menu in the end? This is spoilers, but yeah.
They do. It
But
becomes
what do-
pizza.
It becomes pizza.
Steve, the
That's
time.
the worst fucking.
Okay,
And we've lost them.
Andrew's already lost 5 minutes in.
Not even.
Not even
they
5
didn't
minutes
even
in.
have
Lost them,
pizza
folks.
back then.
Okay, so
in
no,
the
look,
US.
let me break it down for you. Let me visualize it. Reggie has this idea and goes back to present time, orders a bunch of pizzas, comes back with Steve in the time machine, and gives them pizzas.
So why does he sound so sinister when he says they're taking turkey off the menu?
Because
turkey off
Woody
the
Harrelson
menu.
is so serious in the role. He's like, okay, the best way to describe it, he's not the smartest kind of turkey. So he takes things very literally.
But you know what he is?
What?
American.
He is American, and it's so great. Like, one of the great bits is they, like, you know when you're a kid and you do the binoculars with your eyes?
Yeah.
They do that, and it works in the film. It does. And then when they go back in time to do, like, an eyeglass, the one of the older leaders does it with the, like, eyeglass instead, and it works even better. I love it so much. It's a passion. It's a passion, and it's by Christ.
This sounds
good
like
all
a
the time.
movie that is absolutely like so bad that it's good.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
We'll
Free
need
on-
to watch it.
We
We'll
will.
need to-
Free on YouTube.
Mm.
And it goes up to like
Oh.
720.
When you-
It goes up to 720p.
Damn, that's for
some-
bougie.
For some reason, when you mention like 3 on YouTube, all I can think about is the fact that one of my like favorite childhood TV shows is just free on YouTube to watch.
Oh yeah.
And that's
YouTube's got great.
like Transformers Prime is all on YouTube for you to watch for free.
is
and
it?
I find that extremely like criminal because that show is really good. And then it's like, oh, kids can just watch this for free.
It reminds me of how I got into anime. Like, because
Yeah.
back in the day, they used to like split anime into like they used to upload them on YouTube. But like,
yes,
because it was
in
like,
many parts.
but yeah, they'd split it into like 8 parts, and like the screen would be like 90% of this like background image, and then like 1% screen.
yeah.
That's kind of
and-
cool. It's like what people do on TikTok now with the
Yeah,
clips.
it's similar
Yeah.
to like TikTok is like the new incarnation of that. That was like that's what they did back in like 2015 or so. You know, like mid 2010s.
So what animes did you watch back then?
I know one of them was Clanad.
No idea. Please
That
explain.
so Clanad is split into 2 parts. There's the main story, which is like, you know, fun high school, like it's a very deep anime. The second part is probably one of the most emotional anime of all time.
Really? Okay.
So this is big spoilers. Him and one of the girls get together by the end. Most of the relationships like between their friends like sort of like phase into the background a bit. They don't really appear much. And it focuses on their relationship, and the main character grew up with a scumbag for a dad. Like his dad was a bit of a deadbeat because his mum died.
Okay.
And then the main character, his wife dies in childbirth.
Jesus Christ.
This is light
This
work.
no, this is yeah.
This is
Again,
light
this is
work.
really no. This is one of the most emotional ones for sure.
Okay.
But you know, the main character becomes a bit of a deadbeat, and most of the child's life is raised by the like grandparents
Yeah.
because, or the other side of the family, because he's just like not in it anymore. But then he starts to see like the error in his ways. He tries to start like fixing it, but the child has the same like disease that the wife did. And then the child also dies.
What the hell?
And like, there's some like time travel BS at the end,
okay,
so like
yeah.
everything's all happy in the end. Like it was like another alternate universe or something.
I
It gets really convoluted by the end, but like that's like the premise.
I seriously underestimate anime.
I think it's just like the sort of like poetry of he hates his dad the entire time just for him to turn out even worse than his dad.
That's deflating as
I mean,
ever.
in terms of anime, the only anime you've seen is the one you saw with us.
Yes. So
The List is in Dungeon. That's the only one I
yes,
think you've
the-
seen.
The only anime I've truly watched start to finish is Delicious in Dungeon because it was on Netflix and because you guys recommended it and I thought it was really good.
Who doesn't like Senshi?
Exactly. Senshi is like the kind of what's it? He's not a gnome. He's
Dwarf, I
dwarf.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? He's doing this pose.
Oh, he's doing the chill chuck pose. No.
Jack just did a pose that all of us hate that one of the characters do.
He's a half foot.
He's a half
And
foot
he
called
always puts
chill
his- yeah.
chuck and he puts his arms up like he's a chill guy. and it's always
He's not the chill guy.
He's always he's one of the most annoying characters I've
He just-
ever listened to.
He does like 2 things throughout the entire anime.
He
Other than that, he's just a
does.
drag.
He is, and that's my problem with that show is that character and kind of half the
Chill-chuck.
half of the characters are practically doing nothing
wouldn't-
until they are truly just needed.
I wouldn't say that.
You didn't say
No,
that? Okay.
I agree. I do.
I
Kind of
just
agree.
I don't
I see
know,
your
dog.
point, but I don't fully agree.
I just want to see Senshi do cool shit.
I
I want
think
to see what his life was like. We did see it in the
Yeah.
flashback, but I want to see a full show about that. That
I
is so
want to see
great.
Senshi.
I want to see Senshi do stuff that is outside of kind of the overarching narrative. I think spin-offs in that way are so great.
Yeah, no, but I doubt you'll ever see.
Oh, I
that.
know, I won't.
But yeah, no, but
I can. A man can dream.
a man can dream about the beautiful Senshi special. I remember we got a scene in the whole show where they go to this painted world where
Yeah.
they're just chilling, everything's peaceful, and there's like a moment where they're all chilling on like beds and they're about to go to sleep, and Senji is in like what just this little like
Because
like
he's a dwarf.
loincloth,
And
and
he-
like you saw like some of his chest, and the entire room just went damn.
Because Senshi's such a cool character, and he's
Dilf.
what I want to. Yeah, he's a dilf. He's what I want to be. You know. What was your favorite
Gotta
characters?
feed the youngins.
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys have favorite characters for Delicious?
I
Sometimes?
have mine on my keychain.
besides,
Oh, true.
yeah, besides Senshi, I was gonna actually bring this up. I thought that lots of the side characters were kind of pointless. I feel like they want me to care about them, but I just can't. Like outside of like the main like core group,
Yeah, no, I get what
there's
you mean.
really not much. So I guess what's the main dude's name? Laos.
Laos.
Laios.
Laos.
Yeah, all got it wrong. First
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, no, Laos. I'd say he's probably my favorite, like besides Senshi, but
I like his sword that talks. Jack's got his favorite character
Yeah,
on
the
the
cat.
keychain. The
I
cat
love
person.
this. I love the girl. I love Itsumi. Because, I don't know, it was like the fact that I watched Fruit and I was like, probably like Senshi's gonna be my favorite. And then I just continue watching this cat become slowly more and more my favorite character. Because, I don't know, she's relatable, okay?
She comes in later.
I mean there'll be season 2, eh?
No,
will
there's
be.
a season 2 on the way, and the manga is finished. Speaking of like saying manga's finished, there's this running gag of like when a manga finishes where it's just like, this manga didn't even outlast this One Piece arc, and I
Oh
find
my
that so
God.
funny.
I can't get into
So
One
when
Piece.
JJK finished, they were like, they didn't even get past the length of Whole Cake Island, and I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, One Piece goes on forever, and I can't watch it. I need for it to be redone for
It-
the 10 seasons.
No,
So
they
happening-
are making a remake of it, and that's
That's
when
what
I'm
I'm
gonna
s-
hop on.
Yeah,
Because I
definitely.
cannot be bothered to deal with the Toei
How many episodes, Jack?
pacing.
Right now it's 1,134.
How long are they?
20 minutes.
Are half them worth it?
No.
The thing, here's the issue.
No,
here's-
don't give me a prolonged answer.
No.
Give me a simple yes or no right now.
If you ask me, I will say yes.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, here's the issue about Toei. In the beginning, like the first 100 episode stretch is when they were adapting it, they added things in that the manga couldn't do.
Okay.
So for example, there is this villain called Buggy the Clown.
What a
I forgot
name.
about Buggy.
But
What a
but,
name.
but Buggy, basically his issue is that his powers that he can like spread his arms out and stuff. He has the chop fruit, so basically like his arm can extend out and he can like make him float.
So it's Mr. Fantastic.
No, he's Mr. Fantastic, but he doesn't stretch. His limb just floats off. He can just detach
okay,
limbs. and
okay.
stuff.
Oh, so Rayman.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Rayman.
yeah,
No,
okay.
that's a good.
No,
yeah,
that's actually much
that's
better,
good.
yeah. I
But-
visualized it
But they
for me.
defeat him basically, and the way they do it is that they lock all his body parts in one spot, whereas Buggy becomes a tiny little person.
What?
And then in the manga, that's how he's defeated. And then suddenly in a later arc, Buggy's just back, right? But here's what Oda.
Somehow Palpatine
But-
returned.
No.
Kind of vibe.
Right, no, but here's the very like I say clever way Oda brought Buggy back is that
Yeah.
whenever you'd read One Piece like from that point on the cover art there would be a tiny little cover story of how Buggy became back together and came back in that arc.
Okay,
Right?
that's cool.
So for the anime, what they do is that they take that cover story and make it a full-fledged filler connection story instead.
Okay, yeah.
So some episodes do that, and I think that's clever because you take already existing like
Hmm.
canon story, but actually give it like
You give it a bit of breathing room.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have later arcs like say Dressrosa, which is an arc of 117 episodes, where I think they drag on the plot for way too long, where they'll just be like, Luffy goes to punch somebody, to be continued. He goes closer, to be continued. He
Oh
gets even
my
closer, to be
God.
continued. It's like, can you just punch him?
Can you just finish the right?
Yeah,
arc,
no,
bro?
it's...
Hunter
it's
Hunter Chimera Anta.
no, yes, I know exactly what you mean, but like One Piece has such a big pacing issue. And I love the show still, but it has such a big pacing issue. I recommend the manga more because the pacing is way better in there.
Okay.
But I think that with Studio, the ones that are remaking it right now, the people who made Attack on Titan, by the way, actually, the
Oh,
first
that's
like
cool.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
That I think actually will fix on the issue. Like
I'm still so iffy, but the fact you just said it's done by the same people who did Attack on Titan,
Like that with
that
Studio,
brings me
yeah.
a lot more kind of enthusiasm with it because I
Yeah.
know how great Attack on Titan is, and a lot of people love it.
I think they're
I
gonna.
hope so,
I
'cause
think they're genuinely gonna improve on the pacing
because
issues of
I know there's the
Toei.
live action, I know there's the really long anime. So the fact if there's a 10-season show, I think that'll bring a lot of people from the live action to the
Maybe
the
as
original,
well.
Maybe I'm trying to think of it, and I don't know, Andrew. Did you watch like Pokemon show and stuff like that?
I caught glimpses here and there, but the only one I really watched was the first one.
I think it's so good, and I really like how Pokemon does that as a cultural phenomenon, and how they keep that going and they change it up, even though Ash Ketchum should be like 50 at that point.
It's the same sort of deal with like The Simpsons or like
Yeah.
SpongeBob or something like that.
I think that's so great for TV to keep it going,
Yeah.
because some TV shows like that and others really keep it dragging, keep it going when it
Yeah.
doesn't need to.
I was
And
also
that's
going to
kinda
mention
what-
Doctor Who is pretty long. And I will say that I watched the first, like, the 9th Doctor all on my own. So I went into Doctor Who, and I didn't know he was an alien. I didn't know anything of the entire story. So I went into complete blind, and I just sat there like, I was like this, and being like super like theory-wise. But now that I watch like Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, I'm like, man, these theories I had makes no sense.
Yeah, if you've never heard of Doctor Who in the classic series,
Yeah, no, I didn't.
it doesn't make any
I just
sense.
went-
I don't know.
I will say I really liked that when I went into Christopher's
Yeah.
Doctor. I liked that he was first represented as kind of like a scary figure because he had been
yeah.
through history, and I'm like, I like that kind of approach to introducing this guy. But then when we get to know him, he's like, oh no, he's just wacky, insane guy with a spaceship.
Are
Yeah.
you a Doctor Who guy, Andrew?
I never watched Doctor Who, but I want to say I've been really getting into the edits on TikTok recently. There've been
Oh.
a lot, and I'm interested. Lots of them about the Weeping Angels. That
Oh
sounds
yeah,
really
those
interesting.
are a classic villain. Jack, do you want to say your favorite Doctor Who? 'Cause
Yeah,
I feel
I'll-
like
I'll
you've
try
got,
and look
you,
up.
you're ready.
Here's the issue with watching 9, 10, 11, 12, and that is the fact I like every single one of them because they all brought their unique thing to the table. Even though a lot of
course.
I see a lot of people overlook Christopher, where I'm like, Christopher was such an important like
Mm-hmm.
bit, and I loved his take on it. I love where he was going with that.
Mm.
David Tennant, however, I was the most attached to David. I loved his direction,
Yeah.
and I think like, but then when we get to Matt Smith, and I'm like, this is like where I get so like impressed with the writing because I thought David would be the one I would love forever. But then I watch Matt Smith, and the more I think about Matt, I'm like, I really like Matt. Like the whole package of Matt, like from 1 to 3, that whole story together actually is really good.
It is.
It's really, really good. And then now I'm closing in on the end of Peter Capaldi's Doctor, but I will say Peter Capaldi surprised me because I was like, I don't think you can overdo David for me. But I'm
yeah,
also
yeah.
here like, Peter's Doctor is even more interesting.
He's the peaceful one, and that's great.
He really brings in the idea of he's the peaceful doctor. When you watch Matt's, he needs to relearn how to be a doctor, which I thought was really cool. He needs to relearn how to be peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I know that this is weird, but I thought that, they say, oh, you can only regenerate 12 times. Or that's what they mentioned. I was like, okay. And then he gets a new cycle, and I thought, okay. And I thought it was clever that Peter Capaldi is old again, because then you kind of like
can
do
go-
the
yeah, you can go
because the
back
first Doctor
down.
was old, and then
Yeah,
Peter
yeah, yeah.
Capaldi has the gray hair and stuff, and I thought it was cool that like you kind of reset him in a way.
Yeah, I love David Tennant. I think he's great. I got really tired of the episode structure that involves him.
Oh, no, I get that.
My favorite is Matt Smith because every time he's in an episode, it feels unique. Whereas David Tennant, and not all of them, I feel he feels a little samey. He stands there, looks confused, then he's stoic, then he's great, and then he thinks for a minute, he taps his head, he screams, and he figures it out. From watching those episodes, I think they're fantastic. Donna and all the companions are amazing. I just think the closeness of Matt Smith, Rory, and Amy, that is what I love.
But I'm also gonna say my favorite matchup forever has been Donna and David.
Yeah,
those two
are
I
the
love
best.
them.
Yeah.
And I will also mention that I think that
Yeah.
Sorry.
that David Tennant has probably one of my favorite like final episodes of
Oh,
the
yeah.
series, because like getting the whole master thing. Well, I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
that was cool, and also I didn't know who the master was.
Oh,
so
yeah,
getting
so
to
it's
know
a
there
big
was a
surprise
second
for you,
one,
the
I was like,
master,
that was
yeah.
such a cool surprise. And then the end of Donna was really, really sad. The whole he will knock 4 times. I thought that
Yeah.
was probably one of my most heart-shattering moments of Doctor Who.
I think
to this day.
Yeah, I think he really has those speeches, but I love Matt Smith's ending
You know,
dialogue.
I
when he
don't. I get so
changes.
sad when I think about it.
Exactly, it's so good, and I think for me, Matt Smith brought the quirkiness back
He
in
brought
the
the
Doctor.
quirkiness back, yeah.
Whereas David Tennant's Doctor was very like, yes, I'm a bit silly, but not that silly.
I'm a
Whereas
bit more
Matt Smith
serious.
is always like flicking his screwdriver around and
I like
doing
that he has
weird
a lot,
things.
yeah.
And I hate the catchphrase of Alonzi. I do
I
not
love
like it.
Alonzi.
I don't like it. I prefer Geronimo.
But that's
Yeah.
why the Day of the Doctor is probably still my favorite episode ever. When both David
all
Tennant
do
and
it.
Matt Smith has to team up together. I think
Yeah.
that was a pretty clever thing to do, because both of them are pretty similar. And personal little fan thing for me is that when David dies, he goes, "I don't want to go."
Yeah.
So when he regenerates to Matt Smith, it's kind of like a deformed. I think the creature that is the Doctor wasn't ready to
Oh,
be
100%
someone
not,
else.
because he thought it was one of his lasts.
Yeah. So then
Doctor Who is great. What did you think of? Have you seen 15? Seen Ncuti Gatwa?
I've seen like screenshots and some clips, and I'm like, I'm interested to see where they're taking him. I just have
Yeah,
to get through
yeah.
Peter Capaldi, and what I've heard is
Yeah.
the worst Doctor. I don't know. I've just heard. There's a running thing I have with my partner when I've mentioned the newest Doctor, and that is that they're like, "Oh yeah, no, it's cool." And I'm like, "They also has the coolest sonic screwdriver. It's just a TV remote."
It is, yeah.
I love that remote.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny.
So with like the sonic screwdrivers, they change each time it becomes a new Doctor. So for this one, instead of it being like a circle, it's like a flat kind of remote that slides open and stuff, and people weren't happy with it. I
think it was
I
funny.
think it's cool.
I
think
it was funny.
cool. Yeah.
He gets like a remote.
And that kind of Doctor Who kind of brings around the Christmas time, because they always do a Christmas
They
special,
do, yeah.
and I kind of mentioned it with my joke with Star Wars. Do you guys watch Star Wars around Christmas, as they kind of always, and especially the sequel trilogy, just as a whole? The sequel
Not like a
trilogy comes
yearly
out
thing,
then.
but I know I watched definitely The Force Awakens when it came out, which was around Christmas time.
Yeah. Jack has just hit his head on the wall. Now keep it brief. What do you dislike about Star Wars? Because your hands are in your head
If
right
you
now.
keep Star Wars episode 1 to 6, I think Star Wars is probably one of the most legendary TV franchises of all time.
So you don't like the sequels?
Including Clone Wars.
This
And
he's
Rogue
giv-
One, and the
Okay.
Han Solos.
So you
No
don't want to
movie.
go past that. You want to keep it from 7. Just don't do the
7 doesn't exist for me.
The Force Awakens doesn't exist, and that whole sequel trilogy doesn't
No.
exist. Okay.
The more I think about the sequels, the more I want to kill over and die. I actually
really?
hate the
So
sequels.
I'm pushing you here. I'm pushing you here.
Kylo Ren's fucking mask. I fucking hate how he talks.
Okay.
I hate Kylo Ren as a character. He could have been so cool,
Yeah.
and all he is Darth Vader fanboy. And
Yep.
every time he opens his mouth in that mask, I can't take him seriously, because all I hear is just.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
can't understand a word he says. He has temper tantrums all the time. 8. Just all of the movie. I hate 8.
You don't like The Last
8
Jedi?
I think 8 is the
boring.
worst.
8
I
is
disagree.
boring.
I
8
disagree.
is stupid as hell. And I just, the only good thing about that is Mark Hamill's in it, and that's the only thing I like. Can I mention the fact that we have fucking Superman posting Princess Leia
Yeah.
through space?
I love
Yes.
that. Okay.
You're gonna tell me that
okay,
happens?
Okay. We'll get into that in a second. The
And then
last
9.
one. Yes.
What the fuck were they fucking thinking?
They weren't. That's their kind of thing.
I always come back.
For real. He'll somehow
Palpatine
returned. Yeah.
Sith technology. They come back from the dead.
So, you didn't like Palpatine? Dude, you're about to crash out. He's about to actually freak out.
No, because there's people that try to defend the sequel trilogy and try to make it work, and I'm like, can we?
I pointed to Andrew
can
just
we,
then.
Can we not? I hate all the directions we went with. It was so perfect. It was so nice the way it all wrapped
Yep.
up in like 6. Why the fuck is he back?
Okay.
Why? It's not. That's not what Star Wars even was about. It wasn't even about this.
Agreed. Now, Andrew, I know you enjoy The Force Awakens. You don't like-
I'm a very big fan
as
of
the
Force Awakens.
kind of
I
the
can
opposite,
I
but
can tolerate
as a
that one.
defender, please say why the sequels.
Oh, I'm not saying that
no,
the
no, no. I'm
sequels
saying,
are
but
good.
at least Force Awakens, why that works.
I just think The Force Awakens, as like a movie to set up the trilogy, I thought it just worked very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it like lots of people say it's like very similar to A New Hope, and like I can definitely see that.
Oh yeah.
I just think like I like lots of the action in it.
Similar.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go on a desert
Yeah.
planet where
I'm
we find a
here.
droid that has secret plans, where we're going to take it to an old resistance member that has this strange movie of the past, which becomes a mentor figure. Then we're going to be haunted by a dark figure with a mask, and then we're going to see him have to destroy a giant destroying, killing planet thingy.
Yep.
And then we're going to fly into the destroyer only to discover that our good old mentor dies, where we're going to go and then find the older master who's going to train us further, and it's the same fucking plot of New Hope.
For someone who
Yeah,
hates the
but it's
movie, you
actually
do love it.
entertaining, though.
Yeah. Okay. For someone who hates it, you really love the plot, Jack. You can describe it in like 2 sentences.
Because it's the same fucking thing.
I think it just opens up like a lot of plot threads, like makes them. I just think that the director of episode 8,
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson,
Ryan Johnson.
he absolutely tears it all up. Like everything,
Really?
or everything that made The Force Awakens good at all, he just completely does everything. And that's why I think that episode 8 is the worst. And the way I view it, episode 9 was, what was it? J.J. Abrams is back. And
Yeah.
they were like, what the hell am I meant to do with this dumpster fire?
Okay.
Fuck it, Palpatine's back.
I like 7. I think it's really solid. I like John Boyega as the stormtrooper turned hero resistance fighter.
That was, I think, one of the highlights.
I really like Kylo Ren. I think his connection to the family, Jack is out, man. Opposite opinions, dude. I liked it. I think The Last Jedi, it's visually stunning. I don't really like the plot. I think, okay, yeah, you guys can give
No,
me...
no, I can give you visually stunning,
I
but
think-
I'm not giving you anything
No,
more.
it looks good. I like kind of what they're doing with the Rey dark side stuff. I think it should have been fleshed out completely rather than just kind of like a one-off and then it's the arc. I think it could have been more. I think Luke Skywalker is definitely mishandled. He doesn't act like him, doesn't seem like him, but I can get behind the director's vision of these characters because it's an interpretation. It's not a one set story. So I can see why Luke is not wanting to do it anymore. Because you're kind of not blindsided, but you're kind of used to Luke being the alright hero, where his time has passed. He's no longer the guy anymore.
He's a grumpy old man.
He's a grumpy old man. I like how, and I wish it was explained, that Kylo Ren and Rey were divyads in the Force, and how they were meant to be connected. I think that's great. I wish that was explored, and it explains why in that movie they can see each other and they can talk to each other, but it's never explained. And especially in Rise of Skywalker, I think that is the worst one, because none of that is transferred over from 8, and like you said, Andrew, it obliterates anything, and what can you do? And I think Rey's origins changing like 5 different times. How she was supposed to be a nobody, and then she was supposed to be kind of a Kenobi, or then connected in some way, and then, oh wait, she's just a Palpatine. I think you guys can disagree, but I think it's cool how they're somewhat connected to like the higher ups and kind of what everyone loves about Star Wars.
That's fair. What I will say is the one that gets a lot of hate that I don't personally hate it that much. I actually liked watching was the Kenobi series. I really liked the Kenobi series.
I think the last 2 episodes were what carried it.
Yeah, the rest was awful.
No,
it
I
could have been
wouldn't-
turned into a movie. It would have been a lot better.
I wouldn't say that. I think
okay, fair
Kenobi was good throughout. There's some things where I agree that this doesn't really feel good, but I really liked the additional things they were adding in. I like that Kenobi actually is like, oh yeah, I do remember there was a farm. Like there's hints of where he actually came from, but we don't actually say, oh no, he came from here. I like seeing like the middle point between Ewan McGregor and like the older
Alan
like,
McGuinness.
I like that. And just generally, I just also really liked seeing a really, really, really scary and angry Darth Vader.
Oh yeah,
I
that
think he
cool.
was terrifying in the Kenobi series. I think the scariest one we've seen.
I remember talking to my brother a while ago about the sequels, just quickly going back to them. I remember my brother was saying like it was like they saw what the MCU did, where like each film has a different like director and different like vision, like different artistic style, etc. And they tried that with Star Wars, but then like Star Wars is a very linear narrative compared to the
Yes,
MCU.
I fully agree with you.
Like J.J. Abrams for Force Awakens, you know, again, like he does his thing, and then the next director comes along, he does his thing, you know, those things clash, you know, so you can't build off like, you know, a linear narrative with like, you know, two different guys' visions.
I think with the whole kind of MCU occasion of trying to do something, you leave so little planning and it doesn't work. Because with the MCU, it's based upon the comic books, so there's like so many years of storytelling, whereas Star Wars, kind of like you're saying, you can't do it the same.
I remember I was saying about Star Wars Force Awakens around Christmas time. This year, plan on going to the cinemas again. I want to go and watch the Sonic 3 movie.
Oh my god.
I'm excited for
I'm
that.
very excited. I had not watched any of the Sonic movies until last week. I watched both of them and I started watching the Knuckles spin-off.
How did you find the first two?
I really enjoyed them. I'm not. I want to preface. I'm not a big Sonic fan. Like I've played the very watered down 3DS version of Generations, and I've played through Sonic Mania, and that's it. I understand Sonic like enough. It's such a good like game to movie adaptation. I will give credit where credit is due. Like they really like revitalized the games to movies like thing, because that like was dead for decades.
Was that before Uncharted movie?
I think the first one might have been, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the Uncharted movie came out and that was awful, and that kind of put everyone against it. And then
I don't want to see Tom Holland near anything ever again.
okay, not a fan. And then The Last of Us came out, and now everyone loved game adaptations. Then Fallout came out, and everyone loved game adaptations. So
I need to show you both Fallout. I
Yeah.
think before season 2 comes out, I'd love to do a special around Fallout.
definitely. But with Sonic, you enjoyed both the movies.
I
Yeah.
loved both of them. I think the second one was better in my eyes. I just think like the jokes hit harder, and like, you know, like the characters were all like more united, and like just I loved all that. But yeah, both were like absolutely fantastic. They were both surprisingly funny.
Yeah, they are.
What I was gonna say about Sonic 1 and 2, what I really liked was that Sonic 1, I was like, oh, this one's good, but I feel like it's too Hollywoody. I was like, oh, no, I don't know. I wish they would lean more into the game. And then I was like, oh, the sequel came out. And they did exactly that. It was a lot more, this is the video game. Here's the echidnas, here's this, here's Eggman being Eggman. I really like Jim Carrey's portrayal of him in the second movie. Not so the first one, but second half, I love the wild mustache, bald head, and how insane the man was. I loved it.
Do you agree, Andrew?
I
with that
completely,
kind of-
I
yeah,
fully
game
agree.
is-
I think one thing I love about Eggman as a villain, like overall, is the fact that he could be like so menacing and so like horrifying as a villain, but he's also like so goofy you can't take him that serious.
Yeah. I think I like Jim Carrey in the first one. I love how kind of just goofy. I think Sonic is best when it's goofy, and then the kind of Sonic characters are more serious, because with Dr. Eggman and Sonic, there are just dumb rivalries, so they need to be silly, like Jim Carrey and Ben Schwartz voicing him.
I do also want to go back to your point about the first one being very corporate. I do fully agree. I think lots of like the in-movie advertising did not feel subtle in the slightest. I think particularly Olive Garden, they must have gotten an absolute bag from Olive Garden. They brought Olive Garden up, I want to say at least like 4 or 5 times.
It sounds. You like opened my memory, because I remember watching it in the cinema and I was like, oh, this is a really good adaptation. Have you ever tried this thing from Olive Garden? It
I think
never
it's
ends. And I'm
funny.
like, why is there a product placement in the fucking
I
movie?
think it's so
It reminded me
funny.
of a bit of the Truman Show. How about this new Mococo drink? Who are you talking to?
I really loved. I don't like the human characters. I think.
love the human characters.
Donut
Come
Lord!
closer and please say that.
Donut Lord!
I love the human characters.
Yeah.
I thought lots of them like had very good chemistry with each other. I think lots of them have a sort of niche, and I think they all like just land it really well. I think they just add to the comedy. I think in particular, just I've been watching the Knuckles spin-off, as I said. I love Wade in it. Yeah, he's an absolute loser, and like they're so unapologetic about it, and I love it.
That's so fair. And I think, do you guys have a favorite kind of Sonic character that you'd really want to see on the big screen, or are all of them already in there?
I was
With
gonna
the
say
third one being your Shadow.
I loved Knuckles in the second one and the spin-offs of what I've seen, and I think that Idris Elba like does an incredible role with him, like the like sort of like proud warrior, but also like a little bit slow as well.
I think that's so Knuckles. Yeah.
dot 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 dot
Yeah.
dot.
So when he's trying to explain a textgram, I think that's great. I liked Agent Stone. I think he's probably my favorite human besides
He
from
is
Dr. Eggman.
so
He's
gay.
great. Yes, he is.
I love.
He's back.
I was watching
back.
it.
I
I was
think it's
watching
great.
it. I was just like, this is the gayest man I've ever seen,
and it's amazing.
and I love it.
I love it. It's Slay.
My favorite character is on the way.
He's Shadow. I
He's
assume.
on the
Yeah.
way. I'm excited. But for the movies you have seen, it's probably Robotnik.
Yeah.
I
think,
love
yeah.
him in the second one to bits because I love how in the first one he is smart.
Yeah.
He's calculative. And then he got insane between between 1 and 2.
I think that's perfect.
Because in the second one he is insane. And like he gets the whole like Chaos Emerald in the second one. Who the hell thought that voice filter was a good idea to put on Jim Carrey? Because it
I think
sounds
it's silly.
so awful.
I think
It
it's
sounds
silly,
so
but
silly.
I love and like you said, Andrew, I think the chemistry is so great between all the characters, and I think the CGI, the designs of them work really well with the real life world. I think Tails is great. I love Tails. He's my favorite.
Was Tails like the actual Tails voice actor?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
it
think
is.
they were the only one that it was.
And
That's why I was so
and
confused.
as it should be. Tails is Tails. I think Sonic can change his voice no matter what.
Oh yeah, no, Sonic's had like plenty of voice actors.
No, it's
throughout
only
the past.
really been Roger Clark.
No,
that-
no, but
No, there's been like 7 or 8 of them, dude.
Yeah.
No, there's been many, but I think the one that most people remember is like Roger Clark's like
Or Craig.
Roger
Smith.
Craig Smith.
Roger Craig Smith. That's one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Roger
I
Clark.
think that's great. I think his movies are great. I'm excited for the third one. I'm excited to see Shadow on the big screen. It's Keanu Reeves. Come on.
It's
Give
just,
me John
it's-
Wick.
It's just John Wick. I
It's
thought that was
yeah.
so funny when I finally heard the trailer. It was just, you're a colorful bunch. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's just
it's
Keanu
great.
Reeves.
That's
And I'm excited for Jim Carrey to finally get a games look with the belly and someone to finally cosplay.
yeah.
You know,
I
it's gonna be
think
Jim
I've got
Carrey.
2 points I want to bring up. Firstly, I love the in-world explanation of they're just aliens.
Yep.
Like it's not like they don't try to like dumb it down or anything. No, it's just they're aliens. They are not like from our world. And I don't
Yeah.
know why. I just love that. I feel like other like series don't really do that.
I like the rings. I think they're great. I think the fact they have an in-use version of being just a teleport, and that kind of fleshes out how fast they can get across the world, rather than just like, oh, he's really fast, he just runs. And I love how he can't swim. Like in the games, he can't swim either. I think that's great. And just
I just think it's cool for Jim Carrey to kind of have his like final role in Robotnik. And
You
he
reminded
seems
me
to
now.
He
Yeah,
is having
yeah.
such a good time with it. I really like it, and he seems to be having fun with everyone he is.
it's a big fat paycheck, and he loves it.
Yeah, he loves it. And also, I have a way to end off the podcast, but we'll
Okay,
get to
yeah,
that.
I was gonna
Please.
say, yeah, no, like it's sort of adding on to that. That's what I remembered. I love how like the amount of actors, you know, that are like turning down other roles or like coming out of retirement just to play in Sonic movie is so fun. Like what Keanu Reeves denied being in both Star Wars and the MCU to play Shadow.
Amazing.
Yeah, what? I mean, Jim Carrey's come out with, like
he's retired. Yeah, he retired during the second press tour.
Yeah, and then he came out of retirement just to do Sonic
Yeah,
again.
you
in
can't not have
in
him.
Sonic 2, there's a reference to his retirement because he goes like, I could do this, and then maybe one day finally I'll be enough. I'm like, that's what he said
Aw.
in this interview when talking
Yeah.
about retirement because he said, I've done enough.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think Idris Elba also turned down like a big role at some
Oh
point.
yeah,
to
well
play.
he was hired on the MCU, and then he didn't want to do anything else, and
Yeah.
then Sonic, and then that came
Yeah.
up.
But yeah, I think that's our cue to wrap up. So as per usual, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening, depending on where you are. Rate us on Spotify, make sure to subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you all next time. And later, haters!
Bye.